What's up? Listen, hit that like button right now. You're here now, so you might as well, right? Also, the other thing I'm going to say is big up to all the returning subscribers. Get me, I'm going to big you lot up first. Then, before I go into that, give me a second. We got to give someone a shout out. And the person I'm going to give a shout out to, give me a few seconds while I load up a few things. I should have did this before. You know, like an art attack. Here's what I did earlier. Or was that in, yeah, that is art attack. Like, if you know about art attack, you know about art attack. You hear me? But you are absolutely welcome to tell me any different. Let me, Alright, big up. I apologize if I mispronounce her name, but I'm gonna put her up on the screen. Big up Tanya Brasini. Get me, big you up. Yeah, me. I like a comment. Amazing, beautiful people. Love you all. Yeah, me. I like that type of. Yeah, me. That love energy. But anyway, if you are new to this channel, see, you will get a shout out. That's a prime example. So hit the subscribe button, hit that bell notification, and then leave a comment in the comment section below, especially something positive, and you're going to get a shout out. Now, boom, yeah, listen, this is a reaction video to the greatest African queen the world forgot, yeah? And this is in relation to Queen Amanirenas, or Queen Amana. Forgive me if I'm mispronouncing the name in it. Yeah, let's just watch it, yeah? But basically, I would never even say that the world forgot. We know how history is. When it comes to history, when it comes to black people in general, it's not necessarily like they forget. It's more of a thing of, it's just not taught to mainstream audiences, if that makes any sense. But this information is out here like this, so it's only right that I do a reaction video, so it's not even as forgotten. Do you know what I mean? Like, so big up to the home team. Subscribe to their channel as well. They're always putting out great content when it comes to, you know, African stuff as well. So let's go.
What up, African world? It's home team here, and I'm back at it with another video of African history, culture, and worldview. And today, I wanted to speak about the greatest queen in African history, Queen Amanirenas.
For the diaspora.
And as always, if you want to support the home team, you can do so on patreon.com. I have some new rewards for you guys, so be sure to check that out. Also, go to afrographics.com, a website where you can find unique illustrative infographics summarizing African history. All links to Patreon, Afrographics, and home team merchandise are in the description.
Make sure you go to that.
I personally found it strange that we in the diaspora never really spoke much about Queen Amanirenas.
See, here's the thing. You can't really call it strange when you deep that in the diaspora. You have to understand that there's two aspects to it, right? So you got from the mainstream education view, then you got education from your parents or your family or friends around, you know what I mean? That if they've got knowledge of this history and they're not teaching it, then fair enough. Fair enough. But if it's a thing where it's like mainstream education, like, let's be real, like, you can't really fault them, really. Like, I used to be angry and all that stuff there, like, but the more I understand life, and the more, I don't want to say I understand life, but the more I experience certain things in life, the more I understand or understand that raw, I get why. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like no one with great power or with power would want to give up their power. No one would. Unless they really feel a way about it. Do you know what I mean? Like a negative way about it, then they probably would want to give up the power. But no one really wants to give up the power. Why would they? Would you want to give up your power? Leave it on the comment section below. And with giving up your power, it means educating the next. Anyway, let's not get into this. Let's go.
Why popular culture may not, but within our own circles, it would seem as though she would come up more frequently. She tends to be overshadowed by more popular queens from the continent, such as Nefertiti, Hatshepsut, or or, unfortunately, Cleopatra. Our own communities do a little better with focusing on other queens like Queen Nzinga or...
Yeah, fun fact. There's going to be, well, God willing, we have to say God willing, yeah? We have to say this in this case because you know how some TV networks can be, yeah? God willing, there will be a TV show in regards to Queen Nzinga, and it's going to be, well, God willing, it's going to be on Stars, and 50 Cent is one of the executive producers, and I believe there's going to be a Nigerian actress that actually plays her. You know, I'm going to pull out the info. Let me see if I can actually find it real quick. Actually, no, forget that. What I'll do, like, I'll just give you that little brief information in it, and then if you want to do your own research in that time, or after you watch this video, then do that. You know what I mean? Because then now you will know for yourself, and it's good to always do your own full research. You know what I mean? It makes sense that way. Let's go.
Even Queen Tai. Given the grand accomplishment of Queen Amanirenas, I thought she would be more recognized.
Queen Tai reminds me of someone. I just don't, like, I feel like she reminds me of a personal relative of mine. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. At first I'm thinking, it reminds me of my mum. Like, I promise you that's what I genuinely thought at first. Actually, when I deep it, she kind of does remind me of my mum. Raw. Alright, this may sound like a mad question, yeah? But I'm gonna ask you anyway. Seeing that image of Queen Tai, I'm gonna put an image side by side. I'm not saying that I'm related to Queen Tai, but you never know, innit? But like, basically, I resemble my mom, innit? You get me? So, boom. Is there any resemblance? Let me know. And do you have any resemblance to any, you know, royalties, you know what I mean, queens, kings, you know what I mean? Let me know, you know what I mean? Like, let's share this info, let's go.
And as the title of this video suggests, I believe she's the greatest queen from the African continent. Not only that, but I also think she's one of the greatest queens in world history altogether.
Wow.
I even created an animated video summing up her story because it's one of the most triumphant stories of an African queen. And it's something that we should be highlighting much more. In my view, she definitely deserves the shine that other African queens get. And I really think it's a shame she doesn't. The closest thing I could think of concerning any sort of significant recognition of Queen Amanirenas in popular culture perhaps comes from Will Packer and his supposed future production of her story. The film, called Warrior Queen, was apparently acquired by Universal Studios, and if this is true, that would be pretty big considering not many people in the diaspora know this history.
Wow. I didn't even know that. You see, I'm watching this and learning just as you are. You know what I mean? So, that is, oh wow, that's deep. Wow. I hope, you know what I mean? This is what I mean. Like, so when you've got a talent in regards to, you know, creating movies or creating in general, it's like, I don't want to say it's your duty, but like if you do come across certain information, like it does feel like it is a duty to share it. So it's like for me, I feel like if I'm creative enough to be able to create videos, do reaction videos, do you know what I mean? And like at least I can share information, do you know what I mean? I had different ideas for the Alkebulantrust, I still do, but at the same time, I'm feeling like, raw, you know, maybe God has put him in the direction of just keeping it simple, keeping it light, do you know what I mean? I'm not really going too deep, just keeping it light, do you know what I mean? Like, some things need to be simple, and I think this is a great example of that. But when it comes to making movies, that's more complex. When it comes to be doing animation, that's more complex. So big up anyone, you know, doing that, and even big up 50 Cent as well. Do you know what I mean? Because that is still a big move. But if we're talking about Queen Amanirenas, he said the name and I still can't say her name. What's wrong with me? But let's go. But big up 50 Cent as well. Like, if you can get me, that's a major move. Let's go.
Oh, I have my own speculations as to why Queen Amanirenas may not be as well known as other African queens, but I'll let you guys come to your own conclusions. To put things in proper perspective, we have to understand the region in which she came from and why her legacy is so important. Queen Amanirenas was a Kushite queen from Meroe. After the fall of the Kushite Empire, or 25th dynasty of Egypt, the Kushites moved their capital to Meroe. Meroe then became a lot more popular due to the ancient world talking about the warrior queens of Kush, queens who literally participated in battle. Queen Amanirenas is important because she descends from a long line of women warriors, and she no doubt pulled from that energy to become the greatest queen in Africa. It was because of the Nubian queens that came before her why she was able to do what she did.
Sorry, whenever he mentions warriors or African warriors or you know what I mean? Like, I keep on thinking of the song, I'm an African warrior, rolling with a stick in my hand. Big up Deneo. Deneo is a G. Alright, listen, if he's done a music video for that, I'm definitely 100% going to do a reaction video to that. So look out for that.
So, who is Queen Amanirenas, and why do I think she is the greatest African queen on the continent? Queen Amanirenas came to the throne around 20 BC, and she's among the most accomplished queens of Kush because of her role leading Kushite armies against the Romans in a war that lasted about 5 years.
Wow.
The Romans, under Petronius, apparently wanted to tax Nubians living in Egypt, which she not...
Hang on. You see how her hair is right there? Anyway, never mind. I'm gonna mention about, like with the British Guards, in terms of they got this hat, yeah, and it just, some may call it a Russian hat, I don't know, but it's like the thing is quite similar. But I always thought they're trying to replicate the Afro hair. You know what I mean? I always thought that, like, for some reason, but. And we're gonna pull up for a few seconds because everything this guy talking about, we need to deep it for a second. You know what I mean? Got to deep every single minute. Get me?
Against the Romans in a war that lasted about 5 years. The Romans, under Petronius, apparently wanted to tax Nubians living in Egypt, which she naturally opposed. The Romans at the time controlled Egypt, and Petronius wanted to challenge Kush and make them a sort of vassal state. Queen Amanirenas initially waged a successful campaign against the Romans in Egypt, even taking the head of a statue in the form of Augustus and burying it under her temple so her people can symbolically trample over Rome. Petronius, of course,
levels. Nah, that's levels. That's levels. That's levels. No wonder, because if you think about with the Romans, yeah, I'm not gonna look, think about it. The Roman, if they lost the battle or whatever, do you know what I mean? They're not really gonna talk about the battles they've lost, and you gotta understand when it comes to history in general, like the Anglo-Saxons and the British, for example, the Brits, like Britain is. Descendants from Romans. Do you see what I mean? But the original Romans, they're not actually Caucasian. That's another piece of history that you need to learn. Do you see what I'm saying? However, in terms of this type of Roman we're talking about, like, they're not going to really teach that history. They're not really going to, you know what I mean? They won't teach you that. What he just said just there, that this queen did, they're not going to teach you that. Why would they?
Back and drove the Kushites southward. 2 years later, Queen Amanirenas gathered a large Kushite force and met the Romans. The Romans, however, encountered many difficulties navigating the Nubian region and saw fit not to engage further, and thus a final battle never actually occurred. The Kushite perspective is unclear as we can't decipher the Nubian Meroitic text, but it's clear that the Romans did not engage further south and strategically withdrew. Queen Amanirenas is remembered by the Romans as being brave and blind in one eye due to her literal participation in battle. Under her rule, Kush secured its borders away from Roman ambition. A wall painting in a pyramid chapel of Meroe portrays Amanirenas with bows, arrows, and spears, holding...
See, look. You see, you know when I was singing, I'm an African warrior, rolling with a stick in my hand. There you go. So it's not just a stereotype. And plus, the Nail's African too, innit? Even though he's a black British singer, or artist, you know what I mean? What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something else. It literally slipped my mind. But this is very intriguing. But no, this is what I'm gonna say. I was gonna say that it's so interesting. Like you know when you've got land, right? And it's the thing of, and you got family in general, right? Obviously, you want to protect them. So protecting them by any means. Do you see what I'm saying? So the fact that she was able to protect her kingdom from the Romans that way, in the way that she did it, you have to salute her. So I'm glad I did this reaction video. Yeah, I'm absolutely glad. But let's go.
One hand, a tethered group of 7 captives. And this is why I consider Queen Amanirenas to be the greatest queen in African history. There was no other queen in Africa who took on such a great threat, going on to safeguard the integrity of their state. She accomplished her objective in protecting her people by maintaining their independence. What greater objective is there for any monarch? The Kushites and the Romans eventually signed a treaty, and in this treaty, the Kushites got everything they want, including having the resented tax revoked. Her presence on the battlefield was documented by eyewitnesses, as she's described in Strabo's account as having a scarred eye or blinded eye, as mentioned before. Her bravery and composure in conflict with Rome is absolutely legendary, as she halted potential Roman ambition in the region. According to legend, Kushite ambassadors in their diplomatic dialogue with the Romans are quoted as bringing a message from the queen. One of the Kushite envoys gallantly presented the Romans a beautiful bundle of gold.
Sorry, I just thought of something personal in it, like my and even in regards to certain things. Alright, well, personal basically. Listen. I remember when one of my uncles was staying with me at one point, yeah. We had, how do I put it? Long story short, we used the term like Ghanaian effort. You know what I mean? Like just mocking certain commentators, like football commentators. It was a Ghanaian effort. But anyway, let's go. Yeah. Big up my uncle, innit? Get me.
Arrows, and said the following words. This gift is from the Candace. If you want peace, this is a token of her warmth and friendship. If you want war, keep the arrows, because you are going to need them.
Whoa!
It's clear that Queen Amanirenas...
Whoa! Yo! Nah. Yo! Raw! Alright, she's a G.
...not appear before the Romans as a beaten foe because of the aggressive message she brought to them. That has to be one of the most epic responses in world history, especially considering who the message was directed toward. Arguably the most powerful military on earth at the time. Her leadership, guidance, determination, and grit is second to none when it comes to African queens. And given all that history, I find it odd that her name doesn't roll off our tongue like other African queens. Hopefully, someday that'll change.
Yeah, it's gonna change.
Well, I'm all out, guys. If you like this video and want to help out in its continued production, please consider supporting the home team on patreon.com. The link is in the description box below. Know thyself. Remember your ancestors. Peace.
Now, for real though, yeah, listen, there's nothing else you can really say in regards to that. So big up the home team, make sure you subscribe to them. The link to the original video is going to be in the description box below. You know what I mean? I'm 100% going to do more reaction videos to their content. 100%. Yeah, 100,000%. Yeah, I know I say I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and sometimes it doesn't happen, but this is definitely gonna happen. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, big you up. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification. In the comment section below, I want to just put in a comment what you want to see next. The other thing I want you to do is, well, if you haven't yet, is like this video, because you might as well, because yeah, man, look at the type of content it is. But yeah, other than that, we out.